All right, good morning, everyone. We're just waiting on member McDowell to come up the stairs, so he'll be joining us shortly. So, ata maria kia koutou katoa, no mai haere mai ki te Thames Community Board inaugural meeting, ko Jenna Litchfield toko ingoa, he kai tohu mana whakahaere ahau, kia konei ki TCDC. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 12th of November 2025 Thames Community Board inaugural meeting. My name is Jenna Litchfield. I'm a governance advisor here at TCDC. Here he is. Welcome, Cole. I will be chairing this hui until our chair is appointed. So I'll now declare this meeting open and we will have a karakia. Councillor Sinclair. E tū.
Tu taua mai I ranga, tu taura mai I roro, tu taua mai I roto, tu taua mai I waho. Kia tau ai te Māori tu. Te Māori ora ki te katoa. Home e, hui e, tai ki e.
Kia ora. Okay, 1.2, apologies in attendance. We know we have no apologies. Everyone is here today. 1.3, conflicts of interest. Nobody has any conflicts they wish to declare? No, all right. 1.4, making and attesting of members' declarations. Okay, I'll call the following members to read and sign their declarations to the Thames Community Board in accordance with legislation. These will be witnessed by His Worship the Mayor, Mayor Revel. So we'll start with Councillor Hampton. Just over to the lectern here.
Thanks, Jenna. I, Greg Hampton, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Thames community the powers, authorities and duties invested in or imposed upon me as an appointed member of the Thames Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 and any other act.
Councillor Rodley.
Ko Martin John Rodley, a whakapoa ke nei, ka mopono me te tōkika atu. AEK I uku pukenga me uku whakawatanga ka whakatutuku me ka mehia ina pene mo hapori o Thames, te mana me ngā mahi ka panye ka tupuna mai ki eho he mima mo te pāri e hapori Thames ki te ture mo ngā konihira e rohi runa mano marua te mana ka wangatanga a rohi ki ngā ture a ronga me te ture mo ngā hui inga kotahi mano waru teku ma fitu. Kei I te he atu ture rane I tēnei rā ke yes, okay, let's stop there.
There we go. I've got to shake your hand.
Now we have Councillor Sinclair.
Without my back to these guys. I'm not Martin Rodley, thank you. Ko Robin Jean Sinclair, e whakapoaki nei mai ka mo pono me te tokeke atu. E ai ki oku pukinga me oku, whakawātanga. Ka whakatutuki me ka mahia I ngā painga mō te hapori o Thames. Te mana me ngā mahika pai nahia, ka tūkinga mai ki ahu, he maima, mō te poari a hapori o Thames. E ai ki te tura, mō ngā kaunihera arohi, rua mano marua, te mana kāwanatanga arohi. E ai ki te ngā turi arongo, me te turi mō ngā hui ngā, ko tahi mano waru, te kau mawhetu ki e tihe atu turi rane. I'll sign first.
I'll do that.
I was on a roll, Peter. You can get that one. Thank you.
All right, welcome councillors to the board. Now we move on to 1.5, election of chairperson and deputy chairperson. So just an overview, this report sets out the process for electing the chairperson and deputy chairperson of the community board for the triennium. It outlines our legal requirements under the Local Government Act, and the report also recommends using System B. So we will take the recommendations in parts 1 and 2, and then 3, and then the chair will take over and do recommendation 4. Okay, any questions? We're happy to move straight to the mover and seconder for staff recommendations 1 and 2. Yeah. Member Catchin and Johnston, all those in favour? Those against? All right, carried. Now we'll have some nominations for the position of chairperson. Are there any nominations? Yes, right. Okay, anybody else? Nope, no nominations. Okay. We will put the motion that the Thames Community Board. Yep, mover and seconder first. Yep. Martin. Who is the seconder? Yep. Sinclair. Okay. We'll put the motion that the Thames Community Board appoints Adrian Catron to the position of chairperson of the Thames Community Board in accordance with the requirements of the Local Government Act 2002, Schedule 7, Clause 37. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Congratulations, Adrian.
Thank you. Firstly, thank you to the Governor's Advisor. You did very well. In fact, I thought somebody would nominate you as chair, but you can't for staff, so the way it is. And it's quite clearly marked down here for me. Appointed chair takes over from here. That's in red on yellow, so I guess that's what happens. We'll go to this is 4 of that motion we just passed. Appoints to the position of Deputy Chair of the Thames Community Board in accordance with the requirements of the Local Government Act. Schedule 7, Clause 17.
I call for nominations, and I'll nominate Board Member Johnson as my deputy. Do we have anybody else? Do I have a seconder for that nomination, please? Seconded by Councillor Hampton. I propose to put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, declared carried. Shake his hand. Little does the deputy chair realise what workload he's got for next triennium. I do appreciate and understand moving through the ranks and the hierarchy and things like that. I propose to discuss all this at a meeting after this meeting and an open forum discussion with everybody. I think that's quite important that we sort of just work out our particular roles within the board. I'd just like to say a few words at this point, if I may, because I'm pretty sure this will be my last time to make these comments. So no need for such a heavy sigh of relief from that side. Thank you. So I would like just to make a few comments. I actually wrote some things down this time. But first and foremost, I'd like to welcome His Worship to our meeting. It's a real privilege to have you back around the community board table. We will miss your interpretation of the rules. We'll miss your comments, and we'll slow down all those in favour, all those against. We'll slow that down while you're in the room. But it's a real privilege and a pleasure to have you here, Your Worship. I hope that the training you had in the last training from the Thames Community Board will stand you good stead. I have every confidence you'll make a very good mayor. I'm already feeling the vibe within council and within our elected members here that we're looking forward to a fantastic training. We really are under your leadership. But thank you for being here. I want to thank all those people that voted for me. This is my only opportunity to say that. Thank you for voting for me, and we all need to realise that we're here for to understand the needs of our ratepayers and residents. So we just bear that in mind, that the reason why you sit around this table is because you're elected to the Thames Community Board. An interesting side issue about our community board, all four board members sitting around this table achieved over 2,000 votes, and we're in a very small group amongst ourselves. That just shows you that the general public out there, the people who voted, felt that we were doing an excellent job. We dropped coal into it just to balance things out, to take the place of our retiring board member, Kishan Rekwa. But other than that, it's very much business as it was. And we've already named our team as the Dream Team. So the Thames Community Board is known as the Dream Team off record. And we will work to that and try and achieve the dreams and aspirations of all the people around this table, which I think is so important. So to our appointed councillors around the table, welcome, thrice welcome, and particularly for the very first time, our Māori representative around the table, Michael Barlow, absolute welcome. We're looking forward to working closely with you, and this will be an opportunity to show those who voted against a Māori ward just what value it is in having a Māori representative around the table. So we're absolutely looking very closely working with you. The thing is, and Board Member Mackenzie reminded me of saying this last time, I've updated it now. It's 1,082 days we've got to the end of this triennium, right? So you've got 1,082 days of days and nights to think about how you're going to make this community board the very best community board again. So, and I always think very much so, and I said this last time, and one of the people who are an inspiration to me and who drive me forward as a person by the name of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. And in the 1971 inaugural address, he said these words. He said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." please take the word country out and put in the word Thames. So ask what your country can do means people always say, what can you do for us? It's what we can do for them and what they can do for themselves as well. So it's important that we realise that we work on that basis. And the other thing I want to say, there's no I in team. So if you spell team, it hasn't got an I in it. So we need to be very focused around our table that we are working collectively as one single team, the Thames Community Board. So as a team, we need to apply ourselves to roles as an elected member and not shy away from the hard questions. And you'll find, Board Member McDowell, that you will be accosted in the street or you'll be at a social function or something like that. What are you bastards doing? What's happening? No, this is not right. You know, you're wasting money. You need to be able to stand up and answer them. So we will support each other in that factor. And later on, and when we have our open discussion, I have some roles for various members to play. So this time, all board members will have a role around the table. All right. But that's enough from me because I can see some people rolling their eyes. So thank you, and thank you again for allowing me the privilege of being the chair of the Thames Community Board for probably my last occasion. I wore my McDonald tie because one of my people who inspired me was my uncle, Uma MacDonald, who was a councillor here, stood for mayor and missed out. And he started taking me to meetings at the age of 11, albeit Federated Farmers. So I've had a political background going back to that stage. I'm not going to discuss how many years that was, but it was some time ago. Right, we're going to now, I just go back over the page. This one here for background. This one for. Oh, I rely heavily on my governance advisor, right? Let's not make any excuses about it. Public forum. Oh, public forum. Back amongst our friends, I see. Oh, and also, also take this opportunity. I couldn't see you because the curtains are drawn back. Take this opportunity to welcome Ruth Effort, who has attended every meeting bar one of the last tri-NM and meetings before. And you're always a good sort of sounding board for us. And also you keep us grounded when you come up and tell the chair that that wasn't an appropriate thing to do or say. So welcome once again, Ruth. It's nice to have you back here and I hope you can do this training right through to the end as well. Right. 2.1. Oh no, sorry, we're going right to the public forum. So who is speaking first? We've got Rachel Gambey, Anne Barker, and Ruth Effort. So we'll just take those, Ruth, because you're not going to speak about the pool, are you, Ruth? No. So the pool people would like to come forward to the top table. You all know the rules now. Our IT technician will advise you about the.
Adrian, in light of the fact there's two of us, we've both got sort of similar but different things to say. Do we still have to confine ourselves to the 5-minute sort of thing for both of us, or do we have 5 minutes each?
Is the second part as exciting as the first speaker?
Definitely.
Let's allow you that extra time. It's at the chair's discretion.
Thank you.
All right. But it definitely will finish in 10 minutes because my governance advisor is telling me you've got 10 minutes and 10 minutes only, and followed by questions from the board.
Kia ora.
All right. Thank you, team.
Kia ora koutou. Ko moi hau te maunga, ko tikapa te moana, ko te kauranga taku papakainga, ke te Pākehā ā-Hui, ko Anne Barker taku ingoa. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Good morning, Thames Community Board councillors, Your Worship the Mayor, both new and continuing. Congratulations on your election or re-election. And my name is Anne Barker, and I'm here as spokesperson for the Thames Needs a Pool Group. Currently, we have 70 people on our mailing list. As a group, we are deeply committed to the provision of aquatic facilities for Thames and the surrounding area, and we're here to offer energy, enthusiasm and support to the Council to encourage positive decision-making as to the replacement of the Thames pool. We realise that the Community Board has indicated its support for the option on the Thames High School site, but also that the full Council has not yet weighed in on the proposal. We've been investigating ways of working to support the Council to build a pool. However, until the full Council agrees and commits to the site, the plan and the construction, we cannot go any further. With decommissioning of the pool during June 2027, it is highly likely that there will be a period of time where our community will be poolless. This will be a time where rehabilitation after injury will slow or stall. Recuperation after illness will pause or potentially regress. Mental health maintenance will be impeded. Training for competition for both young and old will be made very difficult. And toddler learn to swim, learn to survive lessons will pause. We're seeking support for a like-for-like 7-lane 25-metre outdoor pool with staging of construction to build a learn to swim pool as stage 2. The reasoning behind this choice is to minimise the time without a pool and to support as much continuity of aquatic provision as possible. While we've heard some really great persuasive presentations and submissions as to the opportunities created by the construction of a sub-regional facility, in reality, I think this will take a very long time to fund, to build, and for the area to see benefits. I ask you, do you have that sort of time? Because I'm not sure I do. We're in the process of reinvigorating the Thames Community Sport and Education Trust. This charitable trust will be able to work on fundraising towards our town's pool, and its charitable status will enable donors to receive tax rebates. But until we have firm commitment from the Council, we can't do anything. We just can't get cracking. So let's get going. We're asking that you put your energies behind this initiative and get the necessary support at whatever level is needed. We're just asking for commitment for like-for-like 25-metre, 7-lane outdoor pool with staging of construction for the learn to swim pool. In conclusion, he mana ko te kaura I kore ai. Wishing for crayfish won't bring it. So that's all from me, and I'd like to pass the rako to Rachel here, and she's just going to talk about what the pool means for her, and yeah, others no doubt like her.
Hello, I'm Rachel Gamby, and thank you for your time today. I just wanted to speak to some of the reasons behind why I support having a replacement pool as soon as possible, and that it be 7 lanes, 25 metres outdoors. I began swimming when I was 23. I had chronic fatigue syndrome at the time. I mean, I'd been learning to swim as a child, but I'd never done it regularly. But at 23, I began swimming regularly. And it was just an important part of my exercise routine. It helped me get over chronic fatigue syndrome. When I moved to Thames in 2020, initially I wasn't using the Thames pool. I was working a job on California time, and morning is my time to work out, and I was working from early in the morning. And just as I finished my 5-month contract, I developed a tendon injury in my upper right leg, and I could not walk. And then we had the lockdown, and I could not get physical therapy. I could not get to the pool because it was closed. And it was devastating for my mental health. And the wonderful thing was that because the pool was outdoors, it was able to open fairly soon. And I do believe there is another pandemic in our future. So I think that's a really important part of it. The pool was instrumental in me regaining my fitness and recovering from that injury. And so for me, a pool, and I'm at the younger end of many of our, older residents, and I just believe that it's an incredibly important thing for particularly the older people in Thames, but also the families with children who need more entertainment, and the pool is just essential for that. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Anne, and thank you, Rachel. Is there any questions from the board to these two people? Councillor Hampton.
I'm just wondering what sort of time frame you have an expectation of. So the long-term plan, the next long-term plan will be 2027, 2030, I think. And you're talking about a staged approach. So, for instance, achieving the 7-lane swimming pool in the first 3 years of the next 10-year plan, and possibly the learn to swim in the following 2 like after that. So achieving a pool within 5 years of the next 10-year, your concept within the 5 years of the next 10-year plan, is that a time frame that would meet your expectations?
I think it's not so much expectations, but as quickly as we can, because I can't see realistically that a public pool of the dimensions we're hoping for would be built before this pool is due for decommissioning. So really it's about what can we do as quickly as possible. I don't know the mechanics of construction. I'm not an expert in it, but I'd be surprised and absolutely thrilled if we could get one so it was seamless. It'd be like goodbye pool, Centennial Pool, kia ora to the new pool. I think that'd be fantastic. But that's really positive thinking. I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, sorry, I'm not allowed to ask questions. It's rhetorical question.
I'm sure that was just a test for the chair. So, any further questions? Okay, you're going to go, Councillor Sinclair.
I'm interested in your mailing list. Is that how do people get onto your mailing list? Do they have to be approached by somebody at the pool, or is?
Okay. Yep. So there's been a couple of us that have just sat there with a sheet and sort of said, look, do you want to be informed about what's happening with the pool? Do you want to add energy to it, or just be part of the mailing list? We've got a group which seems to be growing at every meeting, but that is dominated understandably by older people because they've got that time. We did try scheduling a Zoom meeting in the evening to include others, but it didn't work. So we're trying to offer opportunities for anyone to participate how they are able to. I'm also hearing from some people that they're saying once we're underway, we're happy to offer labour or, like those hands-on thing. But again, until we've got something locked in and hopefully dirt turned, we can't go any further because what funder is going to sort of say, oh, you want a pool? You don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know where it's going to be. You don't know what it's, are you sure we'll give you, $50 million? Oh, no, I'd be surprised.
Thank you.
Councillor. I just moved up the ranks. Board Member Mackenzie, sorry.
You're all right. Don't apologise. Good morning.
Good morning.
You spoke about that you have been working with council about supporting with them. What does that look like? Like what sort of support have you been having with them? And the other second question is, have you been getting regular updates from council about what is currently going on with the discussions about the pool?
Okay, in terms of how we've been working with the council, we've been indicating to community board, to the full council, to members of there was a group that was looking at facilities provision, and spoke to one of the members of that. I had a meeting with Chris Rutherford, who I've been told is the main point of contact for this. And then subsequently, after speaking with the high school, went back and had further conversations with Chris Rutherford. But all the way through, it's really been around how can we help? And to remind people, we've got people with energy, enthusiasm. If they want us to go gallivanting around the countryside to look at other pools and report back, we can do that. If whatever we can do, we're looking at how can we work this positively and in a sort of really collective fashion. Does that answer the questions?
Yep. Sorry. Second question was, Do you feel like you're getting regular communications with the council in regards to the progress of what's happening with the?
I
plan?
see that as my responsibility. If
Yep.
I haven't, I just understand that they're busy. We're just a voluntary group. We could be sort of the nanas sitting at home knitting for all they know. So every so often I'll just sort of contact them. So they haven't initiated contact, but I'm quite happy to initiate contact.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Thank
Prime
you.
myself is relentlessly positive.
Any further questions? Well, Anne, one of the things that heartened me was to hear you say that you're waiting for a commitment from the council. And obviously, after 24 years, we did offload the child to the parents, and it's their responsibility to do it. And I was reminded that quite clearly just 3 or 4 days ago, that the council will be handling the pool situation from here on in. And we all know it's the Thames pool and we're the Thames Community Board. But one thing we did look at and had a lady by the name of Rainbow Devlin come to us and speak about above ground pools, fiberglass above ground pools. So a 25 metre five lane, I think it was, which is, I know, I haven't finished, was $250,000, including the treatment plant that goes with it. So we have asked them to go back to the factory in Adelaide and see if they can widen it, and they can make it wider and they can make it longer. And all they do is they put a concrete strip down the middle, which they tile, so it separates the two sides of the pool. Have you any thoughts about above ground pool? Is that something that you would entertain?
Yes. Basically, we want a pool.
Correct.
If it's metal, if it's plastic, if it's made out of woven fibre, if it holds water and it's 25 metres and it's 7 lanes, we'll be happy, because really it's about that aquatic provision. We're not hung up on having the Rolls Royce. Yeah.
So Mr. Rutherford is actually looking into that concept, and we're just awaiting a report back. I see an email has gone to the production manager, the place that makes these fiberglass pools. A lot of people don't realise, for example, that the Paris Olympic pool was a fiberglass above ground pool. So it can be done, and if that's suitable for Olympic Games, I'm sure it'd be suitable for Thames. The beauty about it is that we could, for example, cite that if we put our mind to it, for example, on that demolition area where the Butts Hotel was, which is not far from the existing pool, 3,500 square metres of that, which is quite a bit bigger than what we get at the high school. And we've got room for development and going forward. There's some options out there, and I just hope that I heard what you said, that you're prepared to go and look at pools around the country or whatever. Above ground pool interests me mostly because of the high water hydraulics we have here in town, the high water table up to within 900 of a surface thing, which makes it very difficult building pools. That was more of a statement than a question, I admit, which is something I growled at the board about. But I just want you to look at something else, look outside the square and just see about above ground pools and do some study on that for us, please.
Yep.
All right.
Given that you made the statement, I'll ask the question.
Well, I might excuse.
Just for one moment, has there been any investigation through other providers of above ground pools beyond Rainbow Devlin?
I can tell you no.
Okay, thank
that
you.
was only because she
sent
one of those emails to us.
Yeah.
And lives and has a holiday home up the coast, the Thorntons Bay. So she sort of a part-time Thames person, I guess. So yeah, it's just thinking outside the square. It is closer to the time to remove the pool than a lot of people think. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is it September 2027 or
June?
June
2027 is due for decommissioning.
Apologies to His Worship. I said he was wrong. Well, that's even closer. You know, that's half of our 1,082 days, 18 months away. And that's a real challenge for all of us.
In terms of the siting of the pool, Thames High School versus the area by the old hotel.
Yep.
Butts Corner.
That was just a suggestion. It wasn't a given.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
Who should I talk to about to find out more about that situation? So this is me not asking a question, but finding out who I can ask the question of.
Well, have a look on there. It's up for tender. If you're talking about what it's going to cost, it's up there. It's for tender. Or you can have some private conversation with people like the deputy chair, who knows a lot about that property. Deputy chair's here. Okay. So I've got a message. Your time is up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Kia ora koutou.
Thank you so much for coming. It's always a joy to have you here. Ruth Efford, please. Welcome.
Thank you. I bring to you, as I have done for the last wee while, a blessing for the community board and those that are here today. Lord, I ask that you give these people the inner strength, the inner peace and the calm, that their minds will be empty and welcoming to what is put before them for the day of their meetings. May their ears be open and may they hear the cry from the ratepayers and those that are struggling to meet their rates. Dear Lord, may their eyes be open to see what is truly needed in the town, the things that need to be repaired because of the dangers and hazards that are there. And dear Lord, may their hands be open and welcoming to those that come to them and that you treat them gently. I ask, Lord, that you watch over them and guide them through this new time that they are here, the trials and the tremors, but may they learn from the experiences that those that come to the table that have been here for some time, that they bring their wisdom, and the young ones that are here today will hear that wisdom and follow through. In the name of your Son, amen. I welcome you all, and I welcome Greg and Cole. Just a little word of wisdom, Cole. Be early, never late. People remember the one thing you don't do, but not the thing that you do, as we know, don't we? I've been coming to community board meetings for over 25 years, but I have been consistent for almost 6 years. And I am here as a ratepayer who passionately cares about my community. And I mean every person in our community, child right through to my closest friend who is 100. And each and every one of those people in some way brings something to our town. Don't judge others that may not be living in the way that you live until you know what their history or their reason for being like they are. Ask them, get to know them, and then when you do that, you'll know who you are working with. And I do ask, out of respect to you, sir, but when you talk in Te Reo, please can you translate it into English? Because although my grandchildren and my sons are Te Reo fluent, I am not. I learnt Māori when I was a child. But Te Reo, I'm sorry, is quite different, and it's difficult to try and get your head around. It's like if I want to go and try and learn Latin, what English comes from. That is not a criticism. That is just bringing to you so that when people go back and they hear what is being done, that they can do it. It is us being one, and we can learn so much from each other. I am very involved in the Indigenous side of things, so please don't think me out of order on that one, that I truly am not. I'd like to have communication with you otherwise. And communication, it is appreciated that it has been requested that the communication be open, because I have appreciated, especially the last 3 years, the communication that we had. And I'm so grateful that our mayor that we have is someone who has come through the ranks, understanding what community boards, councils, and now his role will mean to the people in this town. And the prayers that I've heard from people, or that I've said to people about you being there, what they have said, their prayers have been answered. I'm not bringing religion. I am just saying they were crying out for someone who would hear them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Peter, for standing. And already the accolades are coming in for the fact that we will have a mayor that will listen to us. No criticism, but a fact. 3 years ago, I asked for a meeting with our mayor and our CEO, and I'm still waiting to hear back. So communication is very important. I thank you for all putting yourself in this role, and welcome back, Holly. You'll be able to expand on what you learnt 3 years ago. But the thing being, it is so important, as I say, that you hear what people say. And I had someone ask me yesterday to do something, which I will do a report on the road, the alleyway 6. The 2-decker buses turn around the roundabout, come back a very sharp left-hand turn, and then bumpty-doo, bumpty-die, bumpty-day. Those in the front row at the top can see, oops, a fourth world country. Great. And then 2 toilets. Wow. 55 people in a bus for 2 loos. When there's 5 loos just down the road at small gauge railway, makes a big difference. But that's between me and the council, not between me and you. But thank you. And as for the pool, perhaps you could have looked at the top, which was brought to my attention, of the race course. Big car park, flat place, and it's not where it could get flooded. But that's irrelevant. Take care, and I'll be watching over you. I critique, I don't criticise, and I do bring, if you want, solutions when I bring questions to the council. Thank you. And welcome back, Adrian.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much. Did anybody want to ask Ruth any question? Being none? Oh, sure, you just waving goodbye.
Say goodbye. Thank you.
I've got to get the right waves in this building. Thank you very much, Ruth. Now we're going into item 2.2. Oh, sorry. I've got names here. We are here. That the Thames Community Board receives Rachel Gamby and Barker and Ruth Efford, please, as speakers in the public forum. Do we have a mover, please? Moved by Board Member McKenzie. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Deputy Chair. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, declared carried. Right, I'm just going through all these little bits of paper here. It's quite exciting notes for me. One of the things I think we're right at the outset we probably should sort out is who's the boss and who's not. No, that's not what it says. These are points to note from meetings. I think it's important we look at these, right? So the position here is chair. So if you wish to you address the chair. If you're going to have a conversation across the table, Mr. Chair, whatever you want to, but not Adrian. So it's a position, not me, right? Points to note, if you want to speak to anything, please raise your hand, preferably your right hand. The governance advisor will take note of you, and I'll get the list of people who wish to speak at any one time. You always speak through the chair. You don't have cross conversations across the table. We use the names like the member McDowell, member McKenzie, or Councillor Sinclair, Rodley, or Hampton. And that way it's easy so we don't get confused. If we have a couple of people with the name of John around the table or for whatever, it becomes very confusing. And I think this is standing orders. I think we'll stick to standing orders. It makes it a lot easier for the chair. It makes it a lot easier for those people out there, which is 9 people today watching us on Zoom. Especially when you go to speak and you have people there who are reporters, then they know who it is. They may not see you or recognise you. So by saying, for example, Chair Catherine or whatever, you know that that's the chair speaking, or you know it's Board Member McKenzie or it's the Deputy Chair or whatever. By stating that when you go to speak, then people know. And it's up to the chair also to announce your names in that form. Please turn your mobile phones off. We have low tolerance of mobile phones in the room. And also under standing orders, you cannot use your phone during a meeting. If you wish to use your phone, then you advise either the chair or the governance advisor you're leaving the room, and you go out and it'll be noted on the computer that you've left the room and you come back. And the same applies if you want to go to a wharepaku or whatever, or you're leaving the room for whatever reason. Then please advise the governance advisor or the chair that you're leaving your room, preferably a governance advisor, because they're noting it down. If you're leaving early, it's advisable that you note that when you arrive and you tell the governance advisor you'll be leaving as Councillor Sinclair said today, that she had to leave at 2:00. And I suggested that maybe Councillor Sinclair would be the only person in the room at 2:00. But anyway. Oh. So, any questions about the little rules? Probably the dress code is something which is touched on by the council. The council is setting the bar a little bit higher on dress code this time round. Such a collared shirt, long trousers, and not jandals or anything like that, or things. It's shoes, and I think that's right. You'll see the chair will wear a suit. The chair of the community board meetings will wear a jacket and a shirt for the briefing meetings. I feel if you're elected as chair and you're elected to a community board and you have respect for your community and respect for the position and you dress appropriately, anything less than that is unacceptable. So after that little tirade and thing, did you want to say something, Board Member Mackenzie? No. Careful raising the hand up and down because you can get the speaker. Oh, a glass of water. Right. Okay. So all happy about that? Right. We're going to a general explanation of statutory requirements for elected members. This is 2.1. And I struggle on names sometimes and I may get them wrong. And I promise you, if I get it wrong once, it'll remain wrong for the triennium. But is it Una? Una? So if I was to spell it with UNA?
No.
No, if I spell it phonetically.
Oh, yes.
Right, Una. Right. Welcome to your first Thames Community Board meeting. The floor is yours.
Lovely, thank you. Kia ora, and lovely to be here in front of you, Community Board. So today's paper that is on your agenda is around, it's an information paper for you to provide some support, some clarity and some understanding of all of the various pieces of legislation that surround your role as an elected member and a member of the Community Board. It's an item that we are required to bring before you at the beginning of every term and just sets out some of those significant pieces of legislation and an overall, hopefully very short but meaningful explanation of what each of those pieces of legislation means. I'm happy to take any questions if you have any. Thank you.
Right. Councillor Rodley.
Good morning. I believe in a meeting, a community board meeting yesterday, a question was raised about whether community boards are covered under the Code of Conduct and Standing Orders.
Yes.
Are you happy? Are you able to advise us on that?
Yes, thank you. Through you, Chair. Yes, the standing orders and the Code of Conduct do apply to community boards. And what I made reference to yesterday as well was around that local government are in the process of, sorry, not local government, central government, are in the process of actually preparing and looking to issue a standard set of standing orders as well as a Code of Conduct, which then would need to be adopted by the council and would apply to all members of the council. So that includes community boards.
If I may answer a follow-up and supplementary, they roll over until new ones are adopted. They never drop and lapse altogether.
Through you, Chair. Yes, that is correct. So at the moment, the existing standing orders and Code of Conduct that this council operates under are continuing until such time as a new set will be issued and the council takes those on board.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank goodness you're here. I went through this and read this executive summary in the background, and it took me about 5 paragraphs to find a mention of boards. It's mostly centered around council So the paragraph, this contrasts with the community board where the role is to represent and thereafter the words. Is it at any time, other than a meeting we had recently, the community board governance one meeting, is there any time that where we all discuss the delegated roles under section under section 53 of the Local Government Act 2002? Please.
Okay. Thank you. Through you, Chair. Yes. At the moment, you today, after this session, will be going into a follow-on induction session, and that follows on from the induction session that was held last week with Elizabeth Hughes. What we're doing there is we're building upon that work, which is looking towards establishing the way that all the boards will work with council for this triennium. Part of that is looking at those relationships, processes, systems, and at a point in time may include looking at those things which are delegated from council down to boards. At the moment, that's an ongoing piece of work as we work through the final parts of the induction.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And follow up on what Councillor Rodley said about standing orders. Now, the current standing orders that we have for community boards are still relevant until central government makes a change?
Through you, Chair, yes, that's correct. The existing standing orders are currently in play.
Right. Code of conduct would be the same as well. Yeah. Thank you so much. Anybody else like to comment? These are your guidelines going forward for the triennium. Wow. I think they're overwhelmed by the first meeting. Okay, is morning tea ready? So we'll be shut down there, we're all. Gotta go. Look at it. Right. I propose to put the recommendation that the Thames Community Board receives a general explanation of statutory requirements for elected members 2025 report dated 24th of October 2025. Do I have a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Hampton, seconded by Deputy Chair. I propose to put the motion. There's no discussion required. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, declared carried. Oh, that's excellent. We close the meeting before. Okay. There being no further discussion, I am going to call upon our Māori representative, Mr. Barlow, to say the closing Karakia, please. You'll all be upstanding. Those who wish to stand, those who don't wish to stand, remain seated. We will now close the meeting. This is probably the shortest Thames Community Board meeting ever. And we'll adjourn for morning tea. Do we have morning tea? Is that agenda for us? Yeah, right. We've got morning tea. Following the morning tea, we're going to have that little forum follow on. Okay. All comfortable with that?